As Toronto's population continues to grow at an increasing rate, all across the city we see more and more neighborhood and residential development. So we decided to get a closer look into how these developments affect a local community. In the case of this 16-story condo and the planned 16-story condo across the street, we want to know just how local community members felt about these buildings, because it would impact their everyday lives. How long have you lived in this neighborhood?
Well, sir, I've been here 20 years.
And how do you feel about these developments that are going up?
Well, I think this building here is a bit of a nice one. It's not really designed to look pretty, but it is very functional.
Feel about how these developments are good? Like, are they good for the neighborhood? Would you say?
I think they're good because they do bring people into the businesses, and but it does create problems for traffic and, as I said, for sewer systems and.
Yeah. And you were telling me earlier that there's going to be another development over on that side, like on the other side over there.
And I'll make a gentleman's bet that that development will be far bigger than what we're seeing right here behind me.
These local businesses shown now are just some of the few that will be moved to make room for this development. Large commercial projects like these aren't the only developments that can affect nearby residents. In past years, permits for home demolitions have reached new highs, so we talked to nearby residents who have to deal with these changes to see how they themselves have been impacted. So how long have you lived in this neighborhood?
I think 97 or 98 is when we moved, so I want to say we've been here 21, 22 years.
The past couple of years, there's been a lot of development on the street, a lot of houses coming down.
Yeah.
And how do you really feel about it?
I actually have a lot of mixed feelings. I think that some of the older houses need renovation. A lot of the new builds, though, don't have the same aesthetic value as the older builds.
Because obviously with those amount of houses, there's probably a lot of construction going on the street.
Yeah, well, on a small street like ours, that can be really annoying because delivery trucks are large, they take up space. We have limited parking, on-street parking as it is, which I have to utilize, and I sometimes lose that. So it can be an annoyance, as can the noise and the dust and so forth.
Do you feel that development is good for the neighborhood, though?
I do. I think it's certainly necessary. It's the natural progress of the city as it evolves, for sure. When it comes to development, it seems most people are of a similar opinion. They believe that these projects have long-term benefits for the community, but the construction can always be difficult to live around. To gain a more contrasted opinion, we decided to interview local builder Rob Allen.
My name's Rob Allen. My company name is RBA Projects.
What kind of development do you do?
Mainly infill residential.
And how long have you been doing that for?
Probably 15 years.
A homeowner, would you say that there are any negatives, such as like construction blocking the street?
I think if anybody living next to a construction site isn't going to be overly happy. It can be noisy as well. So, I think people might view it as short-term pain, long-term gain, because it brings a lot of value to the neighborhood. So
that definitely makes sense. And do you think that there's like a negative stigma around developments? Some people think old is always better, or?
Yeah, well, you'll talk to 10 people in the street, and 5 of them might be pro development, 5 will be absolutely negative or con. So I think it just depends on your point of view.
And I
think people don't like change a lot. So anytime there's change, it's status quo. The neighborhood as it is. So if that's your point of view, then development would be negative.
We are living in a time when people are polarized on a lot of issues, and development is no different. Nobody likes change, but our city is growing, economically and demographically. This means change is unavoidable. But how a developer works with the local community and the neighborhood aesthetic can make this change more enjoyable for those living around it.